Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Time for another Military Mondays. This one's going to be a little late, and I'm sorry for that, but, video games, TV, and all that kind of stuff, it keeps me so busy. Okay, so, and work. I do work. I do actually have a job. I might look like a homeless veteran, but I am not. Now, where was I? Oh, right. I want to tell you a story today, but it's not my story. In fact, it's not the story of anyone I know or that I was told. It's a story that I've read on the news and other outlets. So, I'm going to tell you this story. But first, I have to take a moment to mention a wonderful football player who decided to do something so brave to represent all the snowflakes in America by saying he won't stand for the national anthem because it represents the oppression of black people. He says with his multi-million-dollar contract to play games. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm talking about Colin Kapernick. And apparently this guy, there's two different types of people. There's the type of people that think he's an asshole. Well, I should say there's three. Then there's the type of people who don't care about what he's saying. Then there's the type of people that are inspired. They think he's so brave, even though he suffers no consequences and faces no real scrutiny at all that he actually makes any difference. But he's so brave for saying what he said. So, he's inspired people. He's inspired a lot of people, apparently. In fact, he inspired one woman so much that she decided she's not going to stand for the national anthem anymore. No, ma'am. She's not going to stand for colors either. And she decided to say so on social media and let everyone know. And let those who work with her know. There's a problem, though. She is not a football player. She is not a civilian at all. She's actually a petty officer, second class, in the United States Navy Reserve. And that's not all. She also works with, apparently she's a contractor that works with Intel analysts. Now, I'm not sure if she actually is an Intel analyst herself. The articles only mention that she works with Intel analysts. So that would imply that she is one, because you don't really work with one unless... I don't know. I believe it or not, I didn't actually work with the Intel shops all that much, so I don't really know their infrastructure and how they work. But apparently she's a contractor. She works for those people. And she's been going on social media telling everyone how she's not going to stand for that flag no more. That flag has never represented her as a black woman, and she won't stand for it any longer. Well, for those of you who've been in the military, you know that provides a problem right there, because there's an order that specifically tells you you have to stand for colors and you have to stand for the national anthem. There's an order. Yes, there is. And if you're in uniform, you have to salute that flag during colors and the national anthem. That's if you're outside. If you're inside, you just stand. But yeah, there's an order that says, to salute all officers and colors and standards not encased. Not cased, not encased, not cased. Oh God, why do I always say that? So she's violating an order, and she's doing so on social media. Now, remember how I said she works with an Intel analyst shop? Now, that would mean that she probably has a TS clearance. Now, when you have a higher clearance level than secret, generally, they watch your social media. And some of you might be going, oh, that's an invasion of privacy. No, it's not. It's the American government looking out for their interest. Because they don't want you taking something that was found out in your shop and blowing that all over social media. Now, I know they don't watch it that close for everyone. It's not like they have someone every day going, what did Holly say on social media today? They don't do that. But, if stuff starts popping up and it trends maybe, I'm sure they have someone who glances over just to make sure stuff's not getting exposed. Well, her stuff appeared on someone's radar. The whole flag not representing her, and she even went a little bit further than that. She actually started posting about how she didn't want to deal with, Master Chief. She said, "I will slap me a Master Chief. I don't care about your rank. You will learn." Okay, let me tally this up again. Violating an order. Violating orders. Disrespecting superiors. Doing all of that on social media. So that's misrepresenting the military. She's doing all of these things. Now, from stuff like military.com, Fox News and stuff like that, they're not really entirely clear what happened, but something did happen with the Navy Reserve. She got in a little bit of trouble with them. I don't know what. What I do know about, though, is how her civilian job reacted to her little stunt. Well, let's see. You don't like this country? You don't respect this country? You don't want to follow orders? Well, let me see that clearance you have. Oh, you have a clearance? Well, not anymore. Clearance is suspended. They suspended her clearance, but they didn't nullify her contract yet. I guess they put her on like a probationary period or something. But anywho, they put her on that probationary period. And the thing is, when you have a contract with the government, you have to work for the government. You signed a contract. You agreed to the contract. Same way you agreed to follow orders in the military. So she still has to work, but she can't get into the areas that she needs to do her intel job, so she has to do something else. So they can't send her home, so they made her wash cars, go clean all the government vehicles, go paint the parking lot, go pick up trash, go scrub the ladder well or stairwell, go do something. And they made her do these demeaning tasks. And the American military and government are actually pretty good at doing this kind of stuff. I remember there were drill instructors who got in trouble for something. I don't know what they got in trouble, but they got in trouble, and I happened to come across them, none of their DI gear, scrubbing the ladder well. Or the stairwell. I keep calling it a ladder well. The stairs. Scrubbing the stairs. I didn't actually realize he was a drill instructor until he started yelling at me about not saying good morning, sir. It's like, I'm sorry, sir. But anywho, so yeah, she did all these demeaning tasks, and it was hurting her poor little snowflake heart. It was melting her little snowflake dreams. So she went and asked for help. Now, since technically she was getting in trouble for disobeying orders, it might have possibly been a legal issue. Did she go to a lawyer? No. Did she go to maybe any of her employers? No. Did she go to any of her fellow employees? Anybody that might, have some input or thought? No. Did she go to anyone that knows anything about her job, about clearances, about following military regulations at all? No. Who does this brilliant woman, who sadly worked for American intelligence, go to? She went and contacted a social justice warrior. Now, to be fair, he actually has a job as an activist. I think the articles that I read said he worked for Black Lives Matter. I think. I don't really know who he is, but he's an online activist. That's just what the article said. Now, it's entirely possible that some of this information is not right or was misunderstood. But all that's really known is that she contacted somebody who is an online activist. And did they give her advice to tell her to keep her nose clean, write a letter of an apology, recant all of her previous statements, and, follow orders? No, they didn't tell her to do any of this, which is too bad, because it's really what she needed to do. When you work for the military, when you work for the government, and they give you instructions, you have to follow them. She chose not to. She chose to listen to him. What was his instruction? Well, the jackass decided to instruct her that she needs to take her fight to social media. And she did. Isn't she smart? This genius took her fight to social media, blasting her employers, blasting the people. How dare they make her a slave for expressing her freedom of expressing her opinion. I was about to just talk and rant about. Yeah. The military does not believe necessarily in freedom of expression or freedom of speech. You know, if your freedom of speech violates any military orders, you don't have it. If your freedom of expression violates military orders, you don't have it in that regard. Disrespecting superiors, disrespecting your nation, misrepresenting the military. You can't do these. Your freedom of speech does not allow you to do these while you are enlisted in the United States military or contracted to the American government. Sorry, Snowflake, that's how it works. You should know that. You read the fucking contract. Or at least you should have. Now, I also know they give many, many classes and briefs and stuff like that. I mean, if she got a top secret, you had to have had at least a couple classes telling you, don't do this shit. But she did, and she went to social media. And, well, she got a response from her employers after she went to social media. The response was something along these lines. Don't worry about your clearance. Don't worry about having to do any more demeaning jobs. Don't worry about your job at all. But don't come back to work anymore. Although you do need to make sure that all government badges and property is returned. And she lost her job. And according to the last article I read, which was actually a little while ago, she's still looking. Because when you've proven that you can't follow instructions and follow the rules that your employers give to you, it becomes a little difficult to find another job. When you get something that requires a high level of responsibility like a top secret clearance, and you show you can't handle that responsibility, it gets a little harder to find a job. And frankly, I love it. I hope she's working at Walmart now. That's probably the only place where you should be showing your freaking attitude. So, that's the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly love the ending. And I have one last bit of advice, because this video is taking too long. One last bit of advice to give you. If that American flag doesn't represent you because of your race, because of your gender, because of whatever part of the country you're from, if that American flag doesn't represent you, stay the hell away from the American military. Because that flag means something to the American military. That flag represents me. It represents my brothers and sisters in the Marines. It represents my sisters in the Navy. It represents my brothers and sisters in the Army, and even those in the Chair Force. So, if that flag doesn't represent you, and respecting it is something you just can't do, stay the hell away. You're not welcome. The military doesn't need you, and frankly, those who actually do want to serve the military with honor don't have the time or the patience to deal with your bullshit. So, bye, snowflakes. Hope you all have a wonderful day. For those of you who aren't snowflakes, I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, hit the like button. If you have something you'd like to say, go ahead and say it in the comments below. But above all else, have a wonderful day. Bye now.